Good morning, friends. So today we are going to discuss the meaning of Six Sigma and how it is implemented. So before we proceed further, there are few things like I have heard many people that Six Sigma is not for them or that is difficult to implement. So this is just a starting of some series of sessions where you can understand how to implement Six Sigma and how to use it, what is the meaning of it. Even if you are a student, you can use it for your learning and then consequently you can implement in your actual practice. So let us proceed with what is the meaning of Six Sigma and how we should implement. One thing you should always take care of, you should always understand that Six Sigma is not a certification. Six Sigma is not a certification. So you can get a certificate for an organization like ISO certificate, you can get it. If you're an institute, you can be NBA accredited, NAC accredited. But if you are talking about the kind of certificate what we get in the organization, that kind of certificate, Six Sigma is not that kind of certification. There is no one who authorizes you to, or certify you that you are a Six Sigma compliant organization. The level of trainings to the employees are classified as yellow belt, green belt, black belt, master black belt. It is and champions. It is based on the level of competence, the level of expertise. So normally we start with yellow belt. People are using even white belt now, but we start with the yellow belt, then go to green belt, then go to black belt. And a good you can say a person who is well aware of all tools and techniques of Six Sigma is black belt level. But you can start with the green belt level if you want to proceed in your career. You can start with the green belt level, then go to the black belt level, and then when you have done many of the black belt projects, you can be master black belt. There are some trainings which are combining lean with Six Sigma and indicating lean Six Sigma and all. So the lean is a tool which is for wastage reduction. It reduces the wastage of different kind, and there are different tools associated with it. Whereas Six Sigma is related to reduction of variation. So let us proceed further and try to understand what is the meaning of Six Sigma. The label of trainings, in fact, certify the employees to be black belt, green belt, or like that. Okay, so there is no certification. Only the thing is, if you are implementing Six Sigma, you are increasing your profitability. Your profitability will increase. The kind of cost which you are wasting here and there is will not be there, and that's what you will be more focused towards the customers, and you're trying to see that your customers are satisfied. So that is very much sure that if you're effectively and truly implemented Six Sigma, your profitability is going to improve. There are the main hurdle for Six Sigma implementation is the training, because it required some statistical understanding, and training can cost a little bit higher side. I'm trying to develop some of the things so that a training can be useful even for small and medium level industries, and we can club it with some of the innovation tools like theory of inventive problem solving to make it more fit for the small and medium industries. I'm trying to move on it, and you keep on watching the updates with me so that you can be aware of all these kind of training programs what we are going to offer in future. So let us start with what is the meaning of Six Sigma. Six Sigma is basically a management philosophy. It's a kind of measurement which reduces the defect. The main theme is that suppose there is a process. This is the how the output of a process is coming. So you see in the first chart, it is going to be, your target is somewhere here. This is the target line, and your process variation is moving here and there. It is not centered at the target. The bell is not centered here, right? Target is not here. So we are supposed to shift it towards this side to make it on the target. So if I want to make a component of, let us say, 10.55 mm, so my target is 10.55 mm. Now there is some variation is coming, so that variation should be in such a manner that this 10.55 should align with this. So the first objective, you can say one of the objective of Six Sigma is to center the process, bring it to the center. Second is reducing the variation. Variation is the biggest problem, right? Because centering is relatively easy, and you can find out the reason why process is going out of center, and you can process it. But when you talk about variation, it is difficult to control the variation. If you have higher variation, means you are having a flatter curve. Flatter curve means you are having a higher variation. Higher variation means higher standard deviation. If you are having higher standard deviation, that means your process is flatter, you are producing anything and everything, right? So it's going to be out of the limits customer has set. The number of defects will be more if it is a flatter curve. So the purpose is to reduce this also, to make it more bell shaped. It is making a stiff curve, converting this curve into like this kind of curve. So this is what the purpose, the main methodology of Six Sigma is to reduce the variation and to bring the process on target. So first we focus to reduce the variation. Once the variation is reduced, then we focus to bring process back to the target if it is not at the center. So this is what we are supposed to reduce the variation and center of the process. For what? To see that what customer is wanting, I am delivering the same thing. So if it is wanting something, the same thing has been delivered. That is what reduce variation and center the process. Customer feel the variations more than means. This is general thinking. So variation, if there is more variation, people are more worried. But yes, we have to, as a Six Sigma expert, we have to target first variation and then means, and bring the process back into such a pattern that its defect rate reduces to 3 sigma level. Okay. So let us proceed further and tell you what is the meaning of this. A 3 sigma process between a 3 standard deviation fit a target, and now you see this is the target and this is customer specification. So if it is 3 sigma level process, then it is producing 0.14 defects. Okay. So even that is the 3 sigma level is the control limits what we used in control charts. We make control chart based on 3 sigma level. So if it is in 3 sigma level, still the defects are quite high. Our target is that we have to go for 6 sigma. 6 sigma means we have to reduce the sigma, we have to reduce the variation, so that my curve will become from this to this, and nothing will remain. This outside portion of the customer specification is my defect. So if my curve moves towards this side, the normal distribution curve moves towards this side, this area is going to reduce. Reducing this area is basically the target of Six Sigma. And this will happen only if when sigma level, that is the value of sigma reduces, that is the standard deviation reduces. What is the meaning of sigma? Basically is when your convex kind of curve become concave. You see, it is a convex curve and it is concave curve. So when convex, this is the nature is moving from up, and here onwards it is starting moving. So sigma level, basically when you say this is the sigma level is when convex converted into concave. This is 1 sigma. Basically when I say the sigma level, it is here starting, the curve is changing the nature from convex to concave. Okay, that is, it is turning up from upward to downward kind of nature in the curve. So that means if I reduce the sigma level, my curve will become from this to this nature, and the defect which was here this much will remain almost no defect. And if we'll see in terms of table, it is going to be something like this. The defect level is going to be, when we are at 3 sigma level, the defect level is 66804. But when we'll talk about 6 sigma level, it is going to be 3.4 dpmo, 3.4 defects. When we'll talk about 6 sigma, this is 6 sigma. 6 sigma level will correspond to 3.4 defect per million opportunity. That is, out of 1 million, you have only 3 defective, 3.4 defective. That is what is the meaning of 6 sigma level. So this is how we achieve. This is we achieve with this curve. We convert this variation, we reduce this variation, make it the curve like this, and by making the curve like this, we see that this area which was going out of customer specification limit reduces to 0 level almost. So this is what is the meaning of 6 sigma in a statistical manner, in the conceptual manner. Okay, I am again repeating. Now why it is 6 sigma? There is nothing like why it is 6. It can be 8. 8 is more better than 6, right? So it is all, you can say, some of the starting of marketing is started with 6 sigma, and people move with 6 sigma concept, right? And 6 sigma is good enough. That is, it is almost ensuring zero defect. Okay, so this is the concept, and how we implement it, how we are going to do. This is basically we are going to learn now. Let us understand further why 6 sigma is very popular and what it can do normally. The heart of 6 sigma is getting the X right, the Y follows. Now you see, the Y is something which is output. You see this equation, Y is function of axis. Y is function of axis. So any of the output, like mileage of car, will depend on many parameters which are associated with car design. So Y is dependent on axis. So we have to find out Y is dependent on what axis. So we have to see that how this Y is dependent on axis, and what are those major axes, x1, x2, x3, xn. So there can be n number of axes, right? So first, our main, I'm just telling you mathematically what we do in 6 sigma. We try to see on what axis the Y is dependent, and try to see that we fix the axis, because if we fix the reason why Y is happening, then definitely my problem is going to remove, or going to be rectified from the root cause. That's why we focused on improve the axis to get Y. So this is all practically what we are supposed to do. First, we have to find out relation between Y and different axes. Then we have to optimize the axis to get the right value of Y, what is desired by the customer. So that is what fixing the axis for required Y is, what is the meaning of 6 sigma in from this equation. I'm again repeating, fixing the value of axis to get desired Y is basically the purpose of 6 sigma. Now, what you can say, axes are independent, whereas Y is dependent. Axes are input to the process. They are causes of the things. Y is dependent. Y is an output. Y is an effect. X is a problem, where Y is a symptom. So if you rectify axis, Y will automatically rectify. If you improve the weight of the, reduce the weight of the vehicle, then mileage will automatically improve. Okay, so this is what, this is the problem and this is the symptom. So do not just attack on the symptoms, try to get the right axis and solve it. That is what is the purpose of 6 sigma. Y can be monitored. You can simply monitor it. You cannot change Y as per your desire, but it can be controlled by through axis. So if I know the X and control the X, I can control the Y. Okay, I can obtain the Y rather. It is a response variable and it is a factor. It is a predicted and it is predictor. That means all the purpose of Six Sigma is going to go to the root cause of the problem and try to solve it out with mathematical statistical modeling. Now I am telling you what are the key steps. Normally when we implement Six Sigma can be implemented in different ways. Some of the industries like GE, they used to say that all the employees whoever working there should have minimum say green belt or black belt level of certification to work there. So some companies want that everyone should be well aware of Six Sigma and implementing Six Sigma. Some company have a selected persons who deploy Six Sigma to solve particular problems. So if there is a problem related to a particular operation of, let us say, of manufacturing or anything, then we pick up the person and a team of persons and deploy there to solve the problem. Okay, so it can be implemented throughout the company, it can be implemented just to solve the problem, or you can hire external experts to solve your problems, or even if you can do like one of the methodology what I am proposing, that we can learn from others how they have implemented Six Sigma, and based on their experience we can implement Six Sigma in our organization based on their learnings. So their projects can help us to solve my problem. So maybe the kind of cost of training and experimentation can reduce if we can use it with some of the innovation tools. Okay, now let us see what the meaning of DMAIC is. DMAIC is there are different models to implement Six Sigma. DMAIC is one of the main model which we used in Six Sigma deployment. So let us see how we do it. DMAIC, D stand for define, M stand for measure, A stand for analyze, I stand define, measure, analyze, improve. I stand for improve. C stand for control. So DMAIC model is basically there are steps. There are 5 steps to solve any problem. So these 5 steps we can implement. The DMAIC is nothing but it's a simply, you can say, abbreviation of define, measure, analyze, improve, and control. So now there are steps when you want to implement actually. Now this is what I am telling you. No, actually what you are supposed to do when we are implementing, when we are using DMAIC, or when we are implementing DMAIC methodology. So in define phase, you can say these, when I have seen this D stand for define. So define phase, we have to do these steps. What are these steps? Identify project CTQs. CTQ is critical to quality characteristic. You can collect it from voice of customers. You can collect it from drill down tree. You can make house of quality to get it. What is critical to quality characteristic? So particular characteristic which is measured to see that defect can be reduced is known as CTQ. Develop team charter. Team charter is a tool which is used to clearly define the problem statement, the goal statement, responsibilities, time frame, and what you are going to achieve out of the project, what is the problem, and what is your target, how much financial benefit you can achieve out of it. So this is just at the starting we have to do this, and this is basically how do my customer look at me. This is basically the purpose. Define process map. Process is a sequence of activities, interlinked activities. So we have to understand in depth how the process has been carried forward, any kind of process, because for that purpose, process map is the starting. So in the define phase, there are 3 things: identify CTQs, develop team charter, and define process map. And try to understand basically what customer is feeling about me. Then comes M. M stand for measure. Measure phase is associated with 3 more steps. Select the CTQ characteristics. So you may have characteristics, many characteristics. You have to find out which characteristics you are going to focus completely. Define performance standard. Now performance standard means what is required, what should be the required value of that CTQ. Okay, so maybe you are aware of from the customer, but many times customer is not giving you, you have to get it yourself from the customer input, what is the CTQ and what should be the desired value for the customer point of view. So if engine is making noise, then noise level is can be one of the CTQ, but you have to measure it and you have to see that what is the right level of CTQ noise level which is acceptable to the customer. Define performance standard, that is what, validate the measurement system. This is very important. So before we start doing all the experimentation and all, we are supposed to understand that my measurement system is good. My measurement system include the operator who is going to take the measurement, the device or the equipment which is used for measurement, and the equipment and the particular specimen which I am going to measure. So what do I want to improve? What is the best way to measure it? Can I trust the output data? This is very important. That's what measurement system analysis we used to say in Six Sigma language. And even we use in without Six Sigma also, that we have to see that my measurement system is okay. It's simply 1/10 bucket rule and different kind of rules are there, which we have to check it out. We have to do statistically, we have to do really we have to do the measurement in controlled conditions, where we know that we compare our output with the available standard and try to see, is my operator trained, is my operator good to take the measurement, is the device or the instrument I am using for measurement is good. If you are using an academic institute, maybe the question papers are your instruments, your teachers are your operators. So many things can be implemented in education system or any kind of system also. Okay, so validate the measurement system. So these are steps. Then comes to the A stand for analyze. Establish process capability, define performance objectives, and identify variations. So once we are we have identified what is the CTQ we want, we have checked our measurement system. Now we have to check it out, how good am I today before I start, how good do I want to be, what factors make a difference. That is what, establish process capability, what I am doing, what my process is doing today. Define performance objective, what I want, what is my target capability, process capability, and what are the reasons of variation, why variations are coming, what is the reason of variation. Because I am trying to find out the axis which are basically causing y. So we have to find out different axes, what are the axes in my problem are. Then the next step is under I stand for analyze. Screen potential cause. Try to identify what are the potential cause. Now, what are the what at you read from here first. What at the root of the problem? How can I predict the output? How tight does the control have to be? Now, once I have find out that y is dependent on number of axes, I have to find out what are the major axes, who are the major axes, because I cannot control all the axes, or I cannot invest for all the axes. Maybe some of the axes I can control. So we have to see, screen the potential cause, discover the variable relationship. Then once I find out the axis, then I have to do something like design of experiments, where we use maybe the software like Minitab we used in Six Sigma. So we have to find out what is the relationship between y and axis, and even we have to see that whether x1 is related to x2 somehow or x3 somehow. So that all kind of possibilities can be checked out with running the process in actual time and collecting the data and putting the data using in the software. You can collect the data in Excel, use design of experiments, find out relationship between y and axis, and trying to see that what should be the relationship between the axis and y, what should be the value of axis to get obtained a particular y. So I am going to fix the value of axis so that I can achieve the y. So maybe y is having x1 limit, this to this, x2 limit, this to that. So that all kind of limit is to be established based on actual data experimentation. So that's what, there is no chance of any kind of error if you are really following strictly the process without any kind of manipulation. Then finally we come to the control phase. In the control phase, we have to validate that we make some control charts, try to see I am monitoring the axis x1, x2, x3, and trying to see that my y is coming at what required level. Can I trust in process data? Have I reached my goal? How can I sustain the improvements? So we have to validate X measurement system, determine, we have to make some control charts, establish control charts, and make a system instead of measuring Y, I am going to measure some X's, so that by controlling the X's, my Y will always be in the required limit. Determine process capability. What is the changes has come to my process capability by changing X's. Implement process control. Once we have everything done, then we have to make a system where all the X's are continuously monitored and managed, so that by controlling the X's, we can control the Y. Now, many people says that Six Sigma is not applicable in their process, in their industry. It's all depend on the measurement. I'll tell you, if you cannot measure anything, you cannot improve it. So measurement is the most important thing. It can be any kind of service industry, it can be a product industry, it can be an education industry, it can be a restaurant, it can be a hospital, anywhere and everywhere. Measurement is very important. We do not care for the things what we do not measure. If we measure, then we care. This is, you can see with your healthcare experiment on yourself also. If you start measuring your different parameters of health, you're careful about your health, and your health improves. So that's what, measurement always pay you back. So, and if you can measure in a process, if you can measure in a process, if you do not have measurement system, try to develop the measurement system. Once you are having the measurement system established there, you can definitely implement Six Sigma without any if and buts. And if you are implementing Six Sigma, if it is a larger organization, if you can afford for the training cost and different kind of cost associated with it, it is well and good. Otherwise, we are planning, I am planning to launch a simpler version of Six Sigma, where you can use the outcome of other big industries, like a manufacturing company or a service industry company which has implemented Six Sigma in their projects, how they have reached the result. The same thing you can implement using innovation, using theory of inventive problem solving, and you can sometime achieve more than that. Okay, so this is what about Six Sigma. I have just given you some basic introduction. It is going to be these 12 steps with 3 initial steps, that is how to get project CTQ, development of project charter and defined process map. Those who are interested can start doing it, start implementing it, start learning it. There is a software known as Minitab. You can download its version for around a month. I think it's free trial version is given for a month. So you can download it, you can use it. And for further details, of course, you keep on watching this channel, and I will be covering almost everything what is required for Six Sigma level of training in any of the black belt kind of course. And I assure you that if you follow the things strictly, you can definitely improve your organization, you can improve your profitability, and wish you all the best. Thank you all for joining. I hope this session is valuable for you. If you want anything more or any of your doubt or difficulty, you can definitely share with me, and I will be delighted to help you out. You can, if you want to discuss something in person, you can discuss with the Calendly link appointment given to you, taking appropriate time, preferably in the evening, because that will be better for you. And we are stopping here. And I hope this session is valuable for you, and you must have learned something. Thank you all. I am Dr. Ashish Soti. If you don't know, you must have seen my channel earlier. I am Dr. Ashish Soti. I have established a new company. Soti is the Social and Industrial Innovation LLP, to help you learn innovations and quality improvements, tools and techniques. Thank you all once again, and stay tuned. Thank you.